Okay, so here we are in Adobe Illustrator. We are going to create a new file. These files are for printing, and letter is 8.5 by 11. I'm going to choose the portrait orientation, and it is CMYK color, which is appropriate for printing with ink. So create that document. And the first thing I'm going to do is to make a background color, which I will do by grabbing the rectangle tool and making a large rectangle across the entire page. The properties panel is here. If any of these windows are not available for you, remember you can go up to window and get them to pop up. But the properties panel is showing me that indeed my fill color is white. I am going to make this a deep red color. There, I like that. And so there's my background. And I can see I now have one layer. One of the requirements for this assignment is to have a couple different types of text in here. I'm going to create an artboard, which is just another page on the side. It's a place to work, and then I can make illustrations here and then drag them onto this page, which is what would actually get printed. And here I am going to just place some text that I have copied already that I'm going to be using over here. So one of the types of text we want to add is just point text, where you just click and type, and that is going to be this. And the benefit of that is then it's going to be in a box that is bounded very close to the text. So it makes it easy for aligning on the page when I go. It's not going to give me any alignment tools. But now the text is perfectly aligned on the page because the text is aligned in the text box. Unlike when you have a true text box where the text is going to be left justified unless you pop over here and make it centered, which is something you may want to do for your poster when we go to align such things. In fact, I can just use this right now. This is my other text that I was supposed to add is supposed to be a text box. And this is a text box. I know that it is because when I do things like this, it scales my text, but I want it to like that. Okay. Oops, that's not what I was trying to grab. I was trying to grab the text. And this text is not going to get larger or smaller unless I go to the type tool and change it to a larger point font. That's way too grande. Let's see, 36. Yeah, that should work. And now when I move my text box, make sure everything shows. All right. And depending on how you have this text box, what happened to club? I just want to get rid of the comma. Okay. So when you have your text, I'm in properties here. When it's in the text box, it may be left justified if you have a large paragraph, or you might want to center it. Just make sure that it is intentionally aligned or centered. All right, so these text elements are centered on the page. The other thing that we are supposed to add here is some shapes to block out areas of the poster. So I'm going to make this shape like I'm trying to go for like golden, like regal royal colors, Chinese royal colors. Cancel. Which are like gold and red. So I can do this, and just move that under there like we learned in Photoshop, the layer order here. There's also, when we go to properties right here with arrange, we could bring to front, bring to the back, all the way to the back, all the way to the front, or a couple layers forward or backwards. And then maybe I'd put I'm just going to put an ellipse. It's going to be hanging off to the side because I'm going to be like all fancy doing some. I did not want to make a Pac-Man. I'm just going to put this guy right here. It's going to come in from the side. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, that's super retro. Fill is that same yellow, the same yellow color as the other one. There. And then which is now a good reason to take that text and left justify it, all of it, because then that looks better with that right there. Okay. Now the last thing I need to do is to create some images on here out of simple shapes. So what I would do for my design, and I'm just going to flesh them out really quickly here. I will be making a beach ball because there's a swimming pool. It's going to be red and white and blue beach ball. I'm going to be making this a picture of a crazy slide. I'll be doing that with shapes. I'm just drawing it with the things right here, but I'll be doing that with shapes because this club has like the tallest slide ever. And then the other thing I'll be doing is making a bowling ball because there's bowling lanes there at the Richmond Rod and Gun Club, and then a basketball because there's basketball courts, and those are the fun things that we do when we are boop, boop, boop. All right. So that would meet the criteria, like having all the elements in there, but it is supposed to look good. So I would go in and I'm going to find like a fancy golden font for here. And I will actually make these images out of shapes like the example shown in the instructions so that it looks good. When it's all done and I have it arranged looking really nice, I will go up to File and I will save as. I like to save in the Creative Cloud. Just so that we will have access to it outside of class. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go File, Save As. Adobe PDF. Save. Save PDF. And you will attach the PDF document to the classroom for credit on making and exporting your first Adobe Illustrator project.